The HTML interactivity function with dashboards allows users to create the executable filters and sorts. It allows you to auto size your reports that are in your dashboard so that when you do update information, you can auto size the graphs or charts to fit or auto fit. You can also edit your charts and graphs. You can edit the reports from your dashboard. So you no longer have to close a dashboard, go out and open up a graph or a chart in Design View, make your changes, and then come back in and open a dashboard. You can do it all from your dashboard now. So the first thing that we will demonstrate is adding the filters to the executable filters to a dashboard. So I have a very simple dashboard here. I've got sales by lot, and then I have a pie chart that shows sales by salesman. So you have your same dashboard options. You can put a report in, you can do a text box, picture, you can create or drag a URL button so you can have a link to a website in your dashboard. All of the standard dashboard options are there. You also now have, though, the addition of a filter button. So I can drag this filter button, put it here, and then decide for this filter which chart or graph I want to add it to. So this one I'm going to add to our sales graph, and then I'm going to move over here to the filter tab, and I'm going to select what I want to filter. So in this sales graph, I want to filter by lot code. You can choose a single choice. You can create a multiple choice option. You can do a range slider or a single slider. For this filter, I'm going to do a single choice so that I can get results for a single lot if I'd like. I can shrink this down to fit, and I can move that around. If I wanted to, I could change that to from a horizontal to a vertical filter if I'd like. I'm going to move mine up above my chart or graph. Move that down just a little. And then I'm going to add another filter on this same report for car make. So I can filter the car make that I'd like to see. For this one, I'm going to go down to inventory, and I'm going to, on this one, select multiple choice. So I can select a few car makes or vehicle types from my report. I'm going to move this over here, and I'll shrink that. All right. So here we have our vertical filter. I do have the ability to change the font on this if I'd like to. I can do the same with the other one. I can change bold. I can put a background color on that. I can do any of the formatting things that you would do in a report design window. I can do to the filter box here. So I'm going to leave that there. And on this pie chart, I'm going to add a filter underneath that. But this one, I'm going to filter by date sold, and I'm going to demonstrate the range slider. So here we have a range slider, and that's going to allow us to increase or decrease the date range for our graph. So now I'm going to save what I've done, and I'll preview this dashboard. So when this comes up, now you can see I have, here's my single choice. So I could select a specific lot. If I'd like to, I could just select lot number 1. The graph will refresh with just data from lot number 1. I could change that if I want to, and it will automatically refresh with that data. I can put none if I want, and it'll go back to the original view. I can also use my multiple choice selector and select specific vehicle types or car makes that I'd like to see data for. And you can see those will then return on my chart. I still have the ability in a dashboard to use the styling and formatting interactivity changes. I could change the type of chart that I'm viewing. If I wanted to make that a line chart or a line graph, I could. I could make it a linear bar graph, or I can go back to just my regular view. You can invert the data, you can sort by a specific piece of information, and you can also move the location of your legend. So you have the same abilities that you did when you were working with your graphs and charts separate from the dashboard. Over here, if you look at our range slider, you can see I can move the date range, and it will recalculate or refresh the graph with the new data. And just like with these styling and formatting options, you have the same. You can rotate your pie chart. You can slide out a piece of the pie to see the information. So you still have all those options available. And you can right click and change the type. You could change the theme. I like brighter colors, so I could change that to the Crayola so it matches my other graph that I have. And this is all in the design or in the executed version. I have the ability to view a single chart from the dashboard. So I can change the view type here. I could execute this selected report or run it in a different view. So I could PDF view that so it's printable. I can refresh at any time. And if you have promptable filters on the reports that are in your dashboard, you still have the ability to change those filters that you've prompted for. Now back here, one of the great things about the new version of the dashboards is when you're in design view, if you select a specific graph or chart, you get the taskbar at the top of it. And in addition to your report options where you can review filters and change filter information, parameters if there are any, or the report or graph chart options, you have an report edit button. So if I click this, for this specific chart in my dashboard, it's going to open the design view for that specific report. So now I can come in here and I can change something if I need to change something in the chart wizard. I could just right click and then edit the wizard. I can go up and edit my filters for this specific report. So if I wanted to change my date range and include different months or a wider range, then I can do that. Click OK, save those changes, go back into my dashboard and hit refresh, and the data would refresh for that report. So then when we run it, we get the new view for that data. You have the delete button, refresh, and then the auto size for your graph. So those are the interactive abilities for the HTML dashboards and Insight. Once you're finished, you can close your views, the previews, save your changes if you'd like to save them. Otherwise, just close your report or click Insight to return to the main landing page.